Hi everyone, my name is Christian. This is my first video on YouTube. I'm going to cover the topic of the Enlightenment desktop environment and its basic configuration, and at least what I like to do before I start using it. The Enlightenment desktop environment is a compositing environment, which means you can use cool effects, 3D effects, and it's also very fast, but it's not so stable. It's usable, but it can crash sometimes, and in case of a crash, you should know that you have this menu on the side. You can use alignment and restart. It will restart your current profile and restart all the windows that you have open. So actually, it's not such a big deal. Well, today I made a little list over here, so you can see what I was thinking about going through today, and I was thinking about talking first about the initial setup and what happens first time you start Enlightenment when you freshly install it on your desktop and you don't have any configuration files. You can easily emulate it by using the settings, all, and the settings menu, which is the same place you go to if you want to save or reset a profile. I go to the profiles and I use the Scratch. So what happens now is the first time you start the Enlightenment desktop environment, you're going to choose the language of the system. I'm not going to choose Swedish. I hate computing in Swedish and in all other languages, since the translations are often very bad, even in Windows, and especially in Windows. And it's very hard to find information when you're looking for solution for a certain problem or something, and even console applications tend to use, if you use another language, you get the error messages in your language, and it's very hard to find solutions for your problems. However, I'm going to use the Swedish keyboard, since I'm resident in Sweden, and I'm going to use the standard Enlightenment profile. However, you have the option to use the tiling setup, and which is very interesting, since I've been using tiling window managers before. I really love VMII. It's a very fast and usable tiling window manager. It's wonderful when you, for instance, are traveling on the bus and you're having your laptop and you can't use your mouse pad. Everything is jumping, and you want to have a good key bindings, and you would like to disable the mouse pad entirely, and then it's very nice to have a tiling window manager, since you also use your desktop space. Very nice. However, we're going to use the stacking window manager, and after this you come to choose the preferred size of the bar. Don't use too small, since it's rather annoying for your eyes. You can always change it later, but I would go with the default 1.0 if you don't have a bad sight. About focus, I strongly recommend using the change on click and not the change on mouse enter. It has some very annoying behaviors. For instance, when you're closing a window, your mouse will jump automatically to the next active window, and it can be really annoying at some times. The initial configuration goes on, and I just have to click through some things. I'm not using the conman. I don't even have it installed. I'm using the network manager, since it has better support for different VPNs and stuff. The network manager is a very good network manager, so I don't find any reason to go away from it. Here you have the hardware settings for the video card and the compositing. You can disable it if you like. I use the OpenGL hardware accelerator. I don't want any updates, since I already updated my system with the Pacman package manager. I'm using Arch Linux, and it's well, as you know, it's a rolling release. Distribution, and I don't have to care too much about receiving updates from the provider, since I already get the vanilla setups from the beginning. Well, now I'm back with a newly empty profile, and now I have some annoying behaviors like, for instance, if I want to resize a window, I'm used to using the Alt and the right mouse button, but now I just get the window menu, which is the same as the right clicking in the bar. However, you're going to get that. We don't have any snapping windows, as you can see. I can't drop it and snap it like in KDE or Windows. What I can do, however, I'm going to show you another thing. If I'm dragging it all the way, I'm going to change to a different desktop. However, what I can do is I can use the Windows key or the Meta key and the arrow keys for the right and left, and I can actually maximize them, the windows. So what I can do is let's start another terminal. So what I can do, for instance, if I'm working with two documents, I want to read one and I want to change in the other, I can open them side by side like this, without having to resize them manually, and I can start a new blah.txt, and I can actually just work with my documents side by side like this. So it's not such a big deal. Another thing is the terminology terminal. This is the first time I used it, and I really like it. It's fast, it's simple, and I really like the way when I, for instance, want to double click, I want to copy this word, for instance, and it really marks it with this blue box. So no, I really like it. It's nice. So the next thing I wanted to do is while we're talking about window management, we can talk about the Run Everything menu. It's a very nice feature of the Enlightenment desktop. It defaults to the Alt Escape. It actually shows all your open programs. It shows all your applications, open windows, and even settings. So you can find most things here. So Alt Escape, and then I start, for instance, terminology, and it shows like that. If I want to start Pidgin, or I just want to start Firefox, or for instance, I want to show LibreOffice. It's very fast, very simple. I really like it. It's very easy to find your programs. However, the settings are not so good. So I prefer to access the settings by clicking in the menu and choosing settings and the settings panel. Well, when we're in the settings panel, I got to change this behavior. That's what we're going to do. So what we're going to do is we're going to the input, and then we're going to the mouse bindings. And here I want to change the Alt and right mouse button. I want to change it to the Windows resize. So now, as you can see, it's much easier for me to resize the windows than to having to find that little pixel. The default is in the middle button, but when I use the mouse pad, you actually don't have many laptops don't have a middle button, or you have to emulate them by double tapping on the pad, and well, it's just annoying. But I'm going to change that to the default for the right mouse button, which is the window menu that I can find over here. The window menu, exactly. Apply, close, perfect. And since we are in the settings, and now we have our nice window, I want to start by showing how you can access the system tray, which is not enabled by default. You enable it by the same menu. You go into settings and you choose the extensions, the modules. I can tell that you have a lot of modules in Enlightenment. I haven't tried all of them yet. Some of them are very useful, some of them not. For instance, the blues widget, the one for accessing your Bluetooth device, is not usable by now. I'm configuring it from the terminal. Well, I go to the sys tray, I load it, so I am going to be able to find it from my shelf. These little guys are called shelves. So now I can go to the shelf, I right-click somewhere in the shelf, I use the contents, and now I have the system tray here available to add it. However, the system tray is not showing applications like Network Manager, Applet, or Pidgin. So if I start the NM Applet, you can see that it's not showing. So to be able to enable that, I have to right-click where the sys tray should be, and I choose the settings, and I enable the X embed. I apply it, close it, and now my Network Manager applet is showing down here, and I can configure my networks. So I think that's about it. I have changed I enabled the tray, I changed the mouse behavior. So I hope that you find this useful. If somebody wants me to make a video that's something that is Linux related or Windows related or something else, you can just leave a comment down there. I also have my blog, christianherrera.se. Everything is in Swedish. I haven't updated it since 2011. For your Swedish speaking people there, I have articles about SEO, network security, and stuff like that. And I will try to make some of my articles to videos in English when I find the time for it. Well, thanks for watching, and I hope you find this useful. If you wish to come in contact with me, you can do it down there. Or, well, if you have any requests, you can do it down there also. Thanks for watching. Bye.